This will be the first time I've taken 100 kilos for a run in I don't know how long, but definitely since lockdown. So it wasn't that long ago. I was only using 60 kilo because that's all I could clean safely up with my head. 100 kilos. Let's see if we get 10. That'd be ideal. Fingers crossed we get no hamstring or glute issue, no back issue, and we can do this a nice safe set. The target is 8 to 10, so obviously I'm striving for 10, but if I get 8 then it's still a successful set. Fingers crossed. 90 so far has felt good, and I've thought instead of jumping in between, we're going to go straight up. Did feel hard, but it did also feel pretty good. It's not particularly warm, so I've stuck the hoodie back on. But yeah, so I've just shot. Don't know if you can see on here, but I've just hit 90 for my sets, and then kind of just maxed out with 100. Sorry for all the camera movement, I'm just trying to rest. So 100 is my top set, and now I'm on to my rest pause sets, which I have to do like approaching 8-9 RPE. Rest for 20 seconds, go again, rest for 20 seconds, go again. I'm hoping to get 90 for maybe 8 to 10 on all, but we shall see how that goes. Don't tell Will, but I'm just going to sneak in some front squats instead of the Eugene Teo stuff, because today I don't want to do it. It's getting to the point now where it's more of a ball ache to set up than it is a decent exercise. Like, come on. It's just awkward. Like, I've got about, I think it's 35 kilos, 35, 37, something like that, on a dumbbell that's smooth as hell, trying to pick it up off the floor, and it's especially when I get to the rest pause set, I just can't, I'm not getting the most out of it, because I don't have enough time to put it down and pick it back up in the 20-second rest. So instead I'm holding it. That coupled with the band, it's just a nightmare to breathe, and so it turns into my arms burning and not being able to breathe properly, failing the set, not because my legs are actually killing. So I think I'm just going to trial this today, see how this can go. And I mean, that's 35 kilo with a green band, but I'm not sure what the tension is on those. I'm already on 50 kilos with this front squat. I might mess around with the band, we'll see. But yeah, not today. Just don't tell Will. I think while I'm at it, I might as well just show you 3 different ways to set up for a front squat, depending on your flexibility and what you're actually going to use the front squat for. Just need to figure out where I'm going to position this. Bear with me. 3 different options. Number 1 and 2 are going to be the most popular, and then the third one is if you're really lacking in mobility. And the third one will include some straps. So, start with that first, and then we'll move into it. This one's really good if you are trying to transition from, say, a front squat into an overhead press, or basically if you're going to do any kind of Olympic lifting, maybe CrossFit or things like that, you're going to have to learn this. So I generally find if I go a little bit wider with my hands, I can get that tuck easier, because then my hand sits on the outside of my shoulder. Get under here. Then my hand sits like that instead of trying to go on top, because then it's just putting too much tension through my elbow. So if I go slightly wider like that, it works better. So what I'm going to do is everyone's going to have the different reference points, but my one would be somewhere around that smooth ring of the knurling. Get around there, and then you want to push yourself against the bar, and then elbows as far forward as you can. In fact, I feel a bit narrower. There. So you're trying to drive the elbow up as high as possible on both sides as you can. And we say bye-bye! So you can see from there how you could drive up and then extend. So that's one way you can do it. You will need to practice mobility, otherwise joints and stuff are going to start getting sore. And I've seen various different ways to warm up. One was by an Olympic lifter where they just simply had a load of weight on. They get the hand position and they practice just tucking repeatedly, on both sides, sometimes going alternate or both, but having enough weight that they can actually drive up and force against without lifting the bar off. Number two, and I usually use whatever writing is on the bar, cross my arms like that, and the same principle again, you're going to keep your elbows up as high as possible. And this one I feel it's easier to do. I can lift more because it's a bit more sturdy for me. Easier to keep your elbows up. The downside is you can't transition into another lift because obviously you're not going to fling your arms up and push the bar or something. But again, crossed over, elbows up, lift, squat. And to be fair, if you've got enough of if your arm's out enough, you don't even necessarily have to hold the bar as much. That's just there as more of a safety net. And then thirdly, we'll get these set up. So they're just standard straps. I don't use this. I've maybe done it once before, so hopefully this gets well. But essentially, if you're not able to get your hand as close as possible, use the straps in the same sort of fashion. And that means you don't have to bring your hand in quite as tight as before. Hopefully that helps someone. Is it just me, or does anyone else take pre-workout and then just constantly need a wee? Or the latter for what was I saying? Yeah, does anyone just take pre-workout and then constantly need to go to the toilet? Because I think I've got some issues. As soon as caffeine goes into my system, everything else comes out. Personal info. Actually just shy of 80 kilos on this lunge. Having that rack definitely helps with this. These don't feel insane. It's more my breathing than my legs. Once again, I think I'm just incredibly unfit. What you have when you don't do cardio. When people say you don't need to do cardio, you do. Otherwise you end up doing shit like this, where when it starts getting hard, it's getting hard because you can't breathe, not because your legs have given out from underneath you. So, top tip for everyone, just do a little bit of cardio. It's coming from someone who doesn't. See what I mean? This one's gonna help. But I hope you can tell from that the weight feels fine. Just my lungs cannot take it. I don't think it helps that I have hay fever as well, so all throughout summer, even if it's not great weather, I still have breathing difficulties anyway. It just gets worse the warmer it is. One more exercise to go. Adios, and then we're done. I think a good little combo, by the way, is that Optimum Nutrition. Well, as I was like writing down my workout and doing a bit of YouTube savvy stuff, I was sipping away on a Monster, so I finished that, took a scoop of Optimum Nutrition, started smashing my session, and then I reckon it was about an hour in, I then took half a scoop of Optimum Nutrition again, and here we are, feeling good. Considering I haven't really eaten that much, although I did actually last minute panic have turkey and potato literally as I was about to take my pre-workout. So that's probably helped, to be fair. The worst thing ever is getting into a session when you start feeling hungry, and that they say you have like apparently you've got a finite amount of willpower. So imagine you've got 100 points, like a video game system. You're using 100 points. Let's say you wake up in the morning and you can't be bothered to have chicken and potato, but you see some cereal. Not the cereal's really that bad, but it doesn't fit your macros. Let's say you want the cheap, easy option of going for the cereal, but you decide no, I want to be good, I want to get that chicken and potato, use 5 points of your 100 for your willpower. So now you've only got that much left for the day. Later on you go to the shops and you bypass all the sweets, but you don't buy any because you're on a diet, so you use a little bit more willpower. Little by little, no matter what it is. Let's say you're at work and you want to procrastinate and go on Facebook, but you don't. That's a bit more. And now you get certain things, maybe it's your workout, maybe it's on the flip side, you cheat on your diet because you've used your willpower with other things. Just rambling a little bit, but yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that, but try and take something from that. If I find some papers at some point to back that little thing up, because I have seen it not just on like a quote unquote random YouTube channel, then I will link it or do a proper video on it or something like that. But right now I need to do my RDLs. So since my red band is actually on its way out, I'm going to snap. I'm going to brave it and try and go with the purple. But this could be a massive fail. So I'm going to film it, just to make sure. I'm going to film this just because for me this is something. I'm going to go for 110 kilos, see what we can get. This is a lockdown PB, and depending on the reps it could be a lifetime PB, so come at me. Using the power of the caveman to get me through this. Just managed to pull a 115 for 8. I stopped at 8 because my rep range is 8 to 10, and I feel like going up to 120. Previously during lockdown I've done 120 for like sets of 5, I think. That was in the previous block. So if I can get, well, I think the most I've done with this is 6, so let's see. Bear in mind I have done those 2 sets before, which are technically more than I would do anyway. If I can get 6 or more, I'll be a happy boy. But we'll see what happens. I think today could be spurred on by the fantastic news that the gyms will be open in 2 weeks' time. So it's only 2 more weeks of this. I've already spoken to Will, so I'll get a new plan. And get training in a proper gym. So that leaves August, well, yeah, August and September in a proper gym to get ready for the show. Time's definitely ticking now, things are getting a bit more serious, so every session from here on counts. Let's make this one. $120 for 10 will do nicely for today. Now 2 back off sets with, wait, what did I say? I got 120 for 11, and now 2 back off sets of 110 for maybe 2 sets of 8. Don't want to push it too far too fast and get too cocky with it, so I'll let my body adjust to this. From today I've got 1 more set to go, and then we're into lat pull over next. And I don't know if you can see, but it's actually started to rain. But it's all good because I'm hitting numbers. Good old British weather means it's now sunny again. No idea what's going on. Just on to my final set of the meadow rows, and then I've got hamstring curl, and then I'm going to be jet washing actually. Something a little bit different. I might try and do like a small edit on that, see how it goes. I need to try and wipe this lens because it's still a bit wet. I'll see you shortly.